Can a husband and wife completely undress for intimacy? How is it to have intimacy from the rear? Today's video is very special for married men and women, so please watch this video until the end. Regarding intimacy, today I will reveal things that you have likely never heard before. Unknowingly, you might be making these mistakes. Friends, there are certain issues regarding the husband-wife relationship that everyone needs to know. But sadly, nowadays we don't read religious books, and we feel shy asking scholars about these issues. But it is strange that we feel shy asking about intimacy problems. Yet that sense of modesty dies when a groom tells his friends, and a bride tells her friends, the story of the whole night. Anyway, and share this video as a gift with your dear friends who are getting married or are already married, so they can learn about these issues. And to our mothers and sisters watching, especially women, pay close attention to this video, because 90% of mistakes happen because women do not stop their husbands. We have covered 25 such issues in this video that you likely didn't know before today. There is no shame in this. You can watch this in the privacy of your home. It has been prepared with modesty in mind. Number 1. Reciting Bismillah at the time of intimacy is Sunnah. Now, many people have questions regarding when to recite it. Tafsir Naimi, Volume 2, page 410, states that reciting Bismillah during intimacy is Sunnah. But remember to recite it before uncovering yourself or removing clothes. The best practice is, when you enter the room, recite Bismillah and step in with your right foot. If you always do this, Satan will stay outside the room. Otherwise, he participates in the intimacy with you. Number 2. Talking during intimacy is makruh, disliked. Many people talk or make noise. For such people, Fatawa Razvia, Volume 9, page 46 clearly states that talking during the specific act is severely disliked, as there is a risk the child may be born with a stutter. Similarly, avoid looking at the woman's private parts at that time, as doing so risks the child being born blind. Likewise, do not engage in intimacy while completely naked. Cover yourselves with a sheet. Otherwise, there is a risk of the child being born shameless. Now think, you might be making these 3 mistakes: talking, looking at private parts, and being fully naked. These are disliked acts. The next issue is imagining someone else. 95% of people do this, being intimate with the wife, but imagining someone else in the mind. Listen carefully. This is zina, adultery of the mind, and a grave sin. And remember, there is no fixed time for intimacy. Just ensure your prayers, salah, are not missed because of it. Because prayer, fasting, and ihram are obligatory on the wife too. Choosing a time that causes you to miss prayer is haram, forbidden. Another important issue: a man placing his mouth on a woman's chest. A man can kiss the wife's chest. It is permissible. However, it is forbidden, haram, if milk comes out and reaches the throat. If this happens, and the wife's milk goes down the throat, you should repent. However, Fatawa Razvia, page 568, states that this does not affect the validity of the nikah, marriage. The next issue is men and women looking at or touching each other's bodies. Satar. It is permissible. But as mentioned before, looking specifically at the private parts is forbidden. It causes the illness of forgetfulness and weakens the eyesight. Understand the next issue carefully. The man being below and the woman above during intimacy is incorrect. This risks infertility in the woman. Nowadays, people do this for trends. but women watching this should stop their husbands from doing so. Next, understand that after finishing intimacy, the husband and wife should clean themselves with separate cloths. Using the same cloth creates hatred and separation. Often people clean the impurities with just one tissue or cloth. This breeds resentment. Always use separate cloths. And if you wish to engage in intimacy a second time after finishing ethilim, take care to wash the private parts and perform wudu, ablution. It is better. Otherwise, there is a risk of disease for future children. Ahle Hazrat, R.A., states that women have 100 times more desire than men, but shyness is imposed on them. If the man finishes early, he should not separate immediately, but wait a while until his wife is fully satisfied. Hazrat Imam Ghazali, R.A., says that intimacy, sohbat, is one of the delights of paradise. Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi, R.A., says a human needs intimacy just as they need food, as the wife purifies the heart. A hadith in Muslim Sharif states, just as illicit intimacy brings sin, lawful intimacy brings rewards. Meaning, if done according to Sharia, every breath earns rewards. Hazrat Ayesha, R.A., narrates that the Prophet PBIM said that when a husband holds his wife's hand, a good deed is recorded in his scroll of deeds. When he puts his arm around her neck, 10 good deeds are written. And when he engages in intimacy with love, he becomes the best in the world. And when he performs ghusl, bath, afterward, he gets a reward for every hair the water passes over. A sin is erased, and his rank is raised. Subhanallah in the comments with love. A man told Hazrat Abdullah ibn Masud, regarding his new marriage, I fear she won't like me. He replied, love is from Allah, and hatred is from Satan. So when you go to your wife, pray 2 rakats of nafil, voluntary prayer, of gratitude together. You lead as imam, and she follows behind you. Inshallah, doing this will make you find her loving and faithful. Now a big issue. If the Quran is kept in a room, how should one be intimate? Or is it right to do so? Fatawa Razvia, Volume 9, page 522, states that if there is a frame or verse on the wall, it should be covered. Respect must be maintained. For example, if Ayatul Kursi is hanging, cover it with a cloth before intimacy. Otherwise, leaving aside intimacy, even changing clothes in that room is disrespectful. Being completely naked there is disrespectful. Listen to this carefully. Similarly, if the Quran is kept in the room without a cover or case, do not have intimacy in that room. It is better to keep the Quran inside a cover so no disrespect occurs. Similarly, standing completely naked facing the Qibla, direction of Kaaba, is forbidden. Standing while engaging in intimacy weakens the body. Intimacy on a full stomach is strictly harmful. After intimacy, advise the woman to lie on her right side. It is better for conception. Drinking water immediately after intimacy is harmful to health. However, urinating immediately is beneficial for health. Intimacy with the wife during haze, menstruation/periods, is strictly forbidden, even if it is the wedding night. If someone calls intimacy during periods permissible, it is against Sharia. Poor person is an open disbeliever. Similarly, intimacy via the rear passage, anal sex, is strictly haram. A narration in Muslim Sharif says, on Judgment Day, the worst men and women will be those who reveal their private secrets to friends. You see husbands telling friends, and wives telling friends, what happened at night. Muslim Sharif, Volume 1, page 464, clearly states such people are the worst. You should repent from such actions. It is often heard that if a husband and wife are apart for 2 or 6 months, the marriage breaks. The truth is, staying apart for more than 4 months is discouraged, but even if one stays away for a year, the marriage remains valid. Listen to this clearly and ignore rumors. Friends, we researched heavily to create this video. I spent a week finding these hadiths. I hope your doubts are cleared. I request you not to let our effort go to waste. Share this video with those who make these mistakes. Especially reach out to married people, because it contains issues vital for life after marriage. Sharing this with those about to get married or already married is a great kindness. Perhaps your share will help someone stop these mistakes, and Allah will appreciate your good deed. So treat this as a good deed. Share it.